We're John and Sarah, the 4-row farmer, and we are ready for construction!
Hold up, no. Give me that.
We're John and Sarah, the 4-row farmer, and we are ready for paint and flooring!
No, not quite ready for that.
We're John and Sarah, avocado oil.
Why do we have avocado oil? So today we're covering two main things. The first thing we're gonna do is clean our nose. The second thing we're gonna be doing is cleaning out the kitchen.
But how much do we have to do? How much do we have to take out? How much will we find?
The mouse nest in there. We got water damage. This is like extreme home makeover now, camper edition. It's demo day.
Woo!
The positive thing, guys, there's no soft spots up here. It does not smell musty at all. So that's a good thing. There's a little bit of some dust over here in the corners, but after taking out this box, I can see why. The previous owners did a lot of boondocking, down gravel road type traveling. So a lot of that dust has to make its way in somewhere. And with only a layer of fiberglass insulation and a little bit of a subfloor and then this aluminum pan, any dust, I mean, dust gets into every nook and cranny. Next on the plan is to take this cabinet out. Interesting thing, this one came from an outside wall. This one came from an interior. You can see the rust on that. I'm guessing that's due to temperature being in, hot, cold, whatnot, being exposed to more weather than this one that looks basically brand new. So that's what they're using in the sidewall. Same thing on the interior. Just rust on that one, no rust on that one. This one, there we go. Now, look at that, it came right out. You guys, that is what's happening behind that right there. That creates quite a bit of nice space. So see, we might have to build a bulkhead along here, but it frees up quite a bit of space right here. Now granted, we don't have this cabinet, but Mrs. Foro's got some ideas for something else in its place. Okay, so I'm guessing, if I look at this right, these wires right here, I think run to this outlet right here. What we're gonna do is next up is the radio right here. There we go. So if we look here, definitely the mouse nest in there. Huh, look at that. So we got Mouse House is gonna get evicted. That is taken care of. Right here is where the old TV speaker, along with the surround sound speakers, were wired in. We don't need that. I'm going to take that out. For right now, I'm trying to decide if I should take this out so that Mrs. Foro can see what this looks like without it. Plus, the flooring goes underneath of it right now. So if we got rid of that, might do that. The previous owners did an amazing job of putting this tilting hamper in here. I wonder if we could possibly cut this cabinet off and leave this in. But for right now, let's just go ahead and remove it. Previous owners left a pair of socks. That is such an ingenious thing that they put right there. Mrs. Foro wants to keep this one, but I don't know if she's going to after she sees what we've done. I guess when the cat's away, the mice will play, so that's what we're doing. This right now is just a vent. There's no power to it. There's nothing that's up here. It's just a crank up vent. It'd be nice to possibly put another AC up here or even a power vent. All right, it looks like we've got aluminum framing right around here. And then there's foam, and then there is a power cord coming right here. Oh, it's a 20 amp, 125 volts. This is ductwork that comes from the back AC comes up here, but if we could have one dedicated to this room specifically, it might help keep it cooler up here. And these screws really don't go into anything. They just kind of go into this new one. So they don't break on me. We got another ductwork right here. We got another DC light. I've got this duct, this, and I'm gonna take this track out. I'm gonna do that first. I am in the shower currently. So right up here is the skylight for the shower. The previous owners had this covered because they went on an amazing trip to Alaska. And with it being daylight 24 hours a day, they ended up covering this. It's in good shape, this dome is, but it does look like because this can't exhaust steam, things like that, the vent for this actually is over in the bathroom, which is like across over there. There's no other venting right here. So a lot of heat gets trapped up in here. So you can kind of see on this, the roof, I'm going to call it the subfloor, but the roof stuff, you can see the black on there. I'm guessing that's mildew from the moisture getting trapped up in here. So I'm not sure exactly how we're going to fix that, if we are going to fix that. Two more screws right here. And then there's 1, 2, 3. There's a false floor in here for this DC wire. There it is.
That makes it brighter.
Live power there. Live power there, but I think this is DC, so this must not register. DC.
But it's still live power.
It should have live power. And I could check it if I had my multimeter right here. This outlet right here runs there, and then they branched off of it and went to over there. So I had to take the quarter, this little piece of, almost like a little crown molding off. And while we're doing it, we want to make sure we can get down paint further down the wall. So we're just going to go ahead and take this off. We're not sure if we're going to replace it or not, but right now we're going to take it off so that we can end up seeing what we have behind here. Make sure we don't have anything that we need to take care of. I'm trying not to break it. It should come just like that and like that. So they nailed it. You can see over there where it's been nailed. They tried using construction adhesive, but because this wood is not flat on the back, instead it's got these grooves cut out of it, scallops maybe. The construction adhesive didn't touch all the scallops like it probably should. So guys, we got water damage. So as we were tearing the carpet out, we came across what seemed like the most random wet spot to have. There's literally no plumbing right here, but yet there's this huge like half moon.
So he calls Joseph and they're talking about it. You showed him a video of it. And all of a sudden Joseph's like, wait a minute.
Wait a second. And I'm like, what? And he's like, is it by the right door? And I'm like, yeah, it is. Joseph's like, I know what that is. And I'm like, what is it? He's like, a 34-ounce glass bottle of avocado oil.
So before they went to Alaska, they stocked up on things because things are more expensive in Alaska.
And so they had it sitting on a shelf over here. They
wobble, wobble, wobble.
Onto the floor, broke. And all of a sudden in the background, I hear Kaylin go, Joseph, I thought I cleaned that up. Well, she did. She got it off the carpet.
As much as she could see.
But it beautifully preserved the wood.
Evidence remains.
So at the end of the day, we don't really need to replace this. I'm going to replace this piece of wood only because I don't need this big hole over here. We're not putting the safe back. So I'm going to replace this. But that right there, if you come across a random water spot in the nose, taste it.
Don't taste it.
It might be avocado oil and it could be poison. We don't know. But don't take that as my advice. So the other spot that we ended up finding up here in the nose that needed attention, potentially, was over by the shower. with that being said, we went ahead and we want to tear all this carpet out to make sure there's nothing underneath here. And so that means we're tearing out a little bit more than we had originally anticipated. We were planning on just painting and putting some new flooring in. Well, this is kind of a blank slate up here now because we've got no cabinets. We've got almost the nose cone tore apart except for the outer skin. But we want to get this carpet up and see what's underneath of it to make sure that there's no other water damage along this. The seal, the previous owners did mention the seal on this slide out was not in its best shape. And I'm wondering if some of that over there was not due to that. So we've got this slide mechanism detached from the wood frame because they were sneaky from the factory and they did not want you to take it out. So they had screwed the bracket up through the wood and then put it in. That's great, but now that you want to replace 20-year-old carpet and make sure there's no water damage, we had to use the oscillating cutter, and I cut the bolts because I didn't want to go about taking all of these screws out right here to take this out. So this should tip up out. Oh, hold on. No, there isn't. I've got a few more screws. So guys, if you're ever doing this yourself and you're trying to get this, on our slide, on this bed frame, they had bolts going up through the bottom of the frame. They had bolts coming up to the bottom on this end as well, and now they've got ones going into the footboard down here. They've got ones that are on this L bracket. And now this should slide and then tip up just like that. But this right here, guys, look, so here's the screws that I was fighting with. So they ran the screws up through the bottom of this bracket. So this bracket was screwed to this to the slide floor, so that when this slid in, it slid all of it in as one unit. The previous owners had done this shiplap, and you see they did a great job. It just came down to right here, and then there was a couple spots over there that they weren't able to get painted, but it looks really, really good. I'm taking the advice of a very wise cousin that I have, who tells me, when in doubt, rip it out. That's what we're doing. So right here is another remnant of the when in doubt, rip it out. So what we ended up doing, but in all seriousness, we did want to reconfigure these cabinets. We weren't intending when we first bought JD to redo the base cabinets, but now what we're gonna do is go ahead and do that. So the stove used to be over here with the stove top. If you remember, if you go back, go check Open Roading's past things where they were dealing with how do we find a new top for our stove? Rip it out is what we decided. We're not gonna worry about a stove top. So it ended up being, we're leaving the tile for now, the backsplash for now, but you never know what's on the chopping block for tomorrow. But as demo day occurs right now, this is staying. But let's look at how they wired this thing. So power for this outlet right here, that's the left side of the window. You can see here, I'm gonna call it daisy chaining, but what they ended up doing was basically, leave a comment down in the comment section about what this is actually called. I'm calling it daisy chaining. But what they did then was they ran the power over here. You can see this nice little bend in this 14-2 wire that then ran it over here to this outlet over here on the other side. So this one is the first one in line, then it goes to that one. I think it's actually tied in with the GFCI that's up in the bathroom. So I think those are all tied together on the same outlet line. This is your hot water, this is your cold water. When the sink was right here, they had those kind of configured. Why they decided to put an elbow on this one and not on this one and had a weird bend to it, don't know. Not my problem. I'm gonna go ahead and reconfigure that. We ended up, this is ABS, not PVC. So I'm gonna be putting some PVC in when we go to rebuild the base cabinets. That's what we're gonna be doing. But if you look right here, this nice little cluster of wires, this nice little wiring is all the 12-volt system. This wire right here, this black and white, that has got beautiful black tape on it, ran to a power outlet that was over here. And if you're probably a kid of the 80s, it would have been a cigarette lighter right over here. Because there's nothing better than sitting in your camper smoking.
Now that John has everything else torn out, it's time to tackle these cabinets.
Whoa, 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 whoa. You can't tear these out. Don't you remember? Joseph built these.
They have to stay.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. Today you saw a thorough nose cleaning. You saw some cabinets being removed in the kitchen area. So next week, Mrs. Forrow, what do they have to look forward to?
Construction!
We are going to make some progress after all this deconstruction. So tune in next Friday for more adventures in JD, more so construction adventures. But yeah, tune in. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all the new subscribers. Follow along next week. Thanks. That's it. Thanks for watching. All right, so today.
Everybody, thank you for watching.
What do you want me to say?
Okay, that was bold.
But we have to keep this short and sweet.
Yes.
Ready?
Okay, come on. And thanks for the demoing of the nose today. Thank you guys
You
for
guys
demoing.
did all that work.
All right.
You just reached right
All right.
through that camera.
I'm doing dishes. Do you see me doing dishes? Do you see me doing dishes?
Not normally. I don't know if you can have your microphone any lower. It's not meant to go in your hip.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding.
What's wrong with my microphone?
It's like, ooh, look at my belt loop.
Okay, you didn't get it.
Oh.
Now I'm just like whispering into it.
Oh, would you like to look at my belt loop?
Okay. Okay. See, we're being the cool kid.